Yeah, it's great here. There's a great balance to receive. We don't know, we don't.
I know.
And usually the much more.
No, I. Sometimes do it if you see folks in snow. I saw that. Yeah, oh, yeah. All right, so it's 10 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Hastings County is situated on treaty land that is rich in indigenous history and home to many First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people. We honor their cultures and celebrate their commitment to this land. We acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, sustain these lands and the natural resources contained within. I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. I'll move. Second.
Second.
All in favor? Carried. Does anyone have a disclosure of interest? I don't know, but I'd just like to take a moment to acknowledge the work that the road crew have done in the last few storms. They've done an excellent job of staying ahead. I know all municipalities are struggling, but I'm quite proud of the job that they've done in storm. They've done an excellent job. All right, at this time we have a delegation of Lindsay Nash and Karen Broadhurst from Quinte Conservation. Give us a presentation on the municipal fund.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Nash and I'm the Outreach and Stewardship Coordinator at Quinte Conservation. And I brought with me Karen Broadhurst. I'm here today to obtain council support to apply as a lead for the Green Municipal Fund Growing Canada's Canopy grant, which I'm going to refer to as the GMF-GCCC. So Quinte Conservation, alongside the Quinte Urban Forest Network, which Karen is also a part of, are proposing to be the lead applicant for the GMF-GCCC fund. By doing this, we're providing 18 of our member municipalities the option to leverage funding and staff support for planting projects, both existing and proposed, as long as by the time we have the funds, the trees haven't been planted yet. As having Quinte Conservation as the lead, we will focus on planting a diverse range of native tree and shrub species specifically. So the funding opportunities are quite broad. They're specifically for long-term forestry intention and can include street tree planting, urban planting, park tree planting, riparian planting, forest restoration, and reforestation on both public or private lands. So pretty much the only thing that isn't eligible is proposing to transition healthy natural wetlands and grassland ecosystems into forests. If they're already healthy ecosystems, they don't need to be changed. We're looking at areas that would benefit from being reforested. Something else that I would have to look into that may not be eligible is the tree giveaway, which I saw you guys are doing again this year, so that's exciting. And for that reason is a maintenance plan and survival assessment report are required following each project. So my timeline is throughout February, I've been going to our 18 member municipality councils to obtain support. The reason I need to do this is because Quinte Conservation can only Quinte Conservation can only apply with the support of council. We can't apply for this fund on our own because it's through the Green Municipal Fund. So even if you don't want to get your municipal employees specifically involved with this program, by having us be the lead, that allows Queen Conservation. Thank you. That allows Queen Conservation as well as other groups that may be in this area to also access these funds. Does that make sense?
Say it one more time.
So, since this is a municipal fund, we have to get permission from council in order to be the lead applicant. Now, depending on what you wanna do or what your budget is for tree planting, you may or may not want to get the municipality involved. But even if you don't wanna do that, by providing your support, that gives us the opportunity, as well as local interest groups, the opportunity to apply for this fund and plant trees in Sterling Rodden. So those other groups can include Rotary or churches or schools or scouts, like those kind of groups. So that's also a benefit of providing support, even if it doesn't fit into what your employees are doing.
Now, does it cover the entire boundary of Sterling Rod or just the area of conservation?
I'm for covering the whole of Sterling Rodden with the support of Lower Trent. I haven't spoken to them, but I feel like,
Yeah, good. So,
yeah, I feel like we have very similar mission. Yes, yes. Valley as well. So, yes, February, I'm going to councils. By the end of March, I'm looking for municipalities as well as private interest groups that reside in the municipality to get back to me with how they, with project participation and a general project outline of how what you're already doing fits into this grant. And then that gives me a little bit of time to formally apply for the fund and have the planting plan reviewed by a professional and consult with an urban forestry grant coach through the fund. So then I can apply formally by the end of April. And then there's about a 6 to 8 month waiting period after applying, which puts us at tree planting for fall of 2026 or spring 2027. And then from there, we have 2 years to plant the trees. And then we have to monitor and maintain those trees. So Queen Conservation's expectations in working with municipal partners and private interest groups include a letter of support from council, which is what I'm seeking today. A financial contribution of 50% of project costs. I'll get into that in a moment. A tree planting budget with the source of funding identified. Identification of existing and proposed programs. So if you have like a park that you're planning on planting trees in this year, let us know what you're doing, let us know what the budget is, let us know what the source of funding is, and then hopefully we can double what you're already doing.
We already have a tree planting policy, so is that excluded or?
No, we would want to double what you're already doing. And then if possible, we're looking for you to identify sites where an increase in tree canopy would be beneficial, whether that be on public or private lands. And if you have any data on current tree or canopy studies, that would also go to support our application. Now, I realize some municipalities have more information on those last 2 points, and then some don't.
The D-Barge was updated 3 years ago. Yeah.
Perfect. And in exchange, Queen Conservation will coordinate administrative and logistical aspects of the application. We will assist with leveraging additional funding where possible. And then we'll also act as a liaison between the municipalities, local private interest groups like churches, schools, Rotary, Scouts, and the funders. And then we will submit the final reporting. So the financial details. This project is a 50% match cost share program with a minimum project budget of $50,000. So I realize most of our municipalities don't have $50,000 in the budget for tree planting. That's why I'm going to each municipality to see what you already have. pool all of our funds together to double what we're already doing to meet that 50% threshold. And then it's a maximum of $10 million as well.
Now, would that include, the other groups as well, just not me.
Everybody. So private interest groups, the municipalities, Queen Conservation, whoever wants to participate, whatever your project budget is that you were already going to do,
Which is like 50,000.
and we'll double it. So half the budget would be covered by the GMF fund, and the other half could come from your municipal budget, private interest groups, other grants, as long as they're not funded by the 2 Billion Trees program or Trees Canada. And that's because that is the source of funding from this grant, and we'd be doubling up if that was our match. And then any other fundraising that you can think of would be good for the match. So what you can do is you can use this money to increase your municipal tree planting budget, so basically double what you're already doing, but you can't replace what you're already doing. So if you have, let's say, $2,000 for tree planting for 2026, we can make it 4, but we can't bring it down. And then it can't be part of any legal tree planting requirement, so if you have any, if you have some sort of bylaw that says if you cut down a tree, you have to plant a tree, I don't think that would qualify. So, implementing a watershed-wide tree planting initiative through different levels of partnership creates capacity for the community to work together while supporting climate resilience close to home. There's a wide range of benefits for planting trees. The number one reason Queen Conservation likes it is for climate resilience through flood retention, but we also have reducing carbon dioxide from the air. Trees produce oxygen, which is good for us. Trees reduce heat island effects in urban areas. They cool buildings in the summer with shade and provide a windbreak to buildings in the winter. Mental health is improved through connection with nature. And then diverse tree species promote healthy soils and habitat for a wide range of insects, birds, and mammals that are specific to the Queen area. And this grant fits really well into Queen Conservation's vision to advance watershed knowledge and collective actions to strengthen our natural ecosystems. So do you have any questions?
I have a few. Okay. Unfortunately, our tree canopy policy, we replace one, we don't, we have to replace it. So it's switching, so that's going to, and that's within our own centers. Now you said an April deadline for proposals.
End of March, preferably. No.
What happens, or what, any idea what's gonna happen if the, when they will remove the conservation zone?
No, I'm not sure it's gonna happen. You guys know as much as I do.
I just wondering at that point, who would be the leader on it?
We're hopeful, and we're at the moment, we're continuing business as usual.
Really question, yes,
I just want to add some things.
sure.
I'm involved with the, just up. Known as the Quincy Urban Forest Network, we started about 2.5 ago. And some of the individuals that are involved in it are very active in tree planting. We have done a lot of sourcing of funding from organizations like the TD Bank, Home Hardware, the list goes on. How many? Oh, the LCBO can even add money to the pot to help fund. So when you're looking at your own budget and you're saying, oh, we don't have that much, go to your community and say, is there anybody that would like to participate in greening Sterling? And that's what we're doing in Belleville, that's where we started, but we want to branch out, that's why we got involved in trying to find out how to get this funding for municipalities. So there's more funding available than just what's coming from your taxpayers at this point in time. Your community is concerned. And we are getting a lot of volunteers coming out to the plantings in Belleville. I know that will happen again throughout this area within the different communities. So this is an opportunity to get taxpayers' money that's been put into a federal pot and put it into your budget or pot, as it were, to plant trees.
And this is open to private owners as well.
Yes, the municipality doesn't have a lot of vacant land that would be suitable. I know we've got buffers around most landfills that would be well served, but apart from that, it would have to be part of it.
What about your residents as far as planting trees on their lots?
Well, we have a tree count policy in town already.
That's to replace the tree that's but if somebody doesn't have a tree, what do they do?
We give them away. And even that, we're not getting great uptake. It might be what we're offering. So.
I lead our local horticultural society, and we've stopped doing memorial trees in Sterling because we couldn't find places to put them.
Really?
We have a very high percentage. There's a lot of areas. Mind you, it's the old cottonwood, so good luck with that. Does someone want to? I'm not sure we're gonna come up with anything within March. That's escape lot. We're gonna need the budget.
The funding does go right through to 2031, I think. So if this year isn't a year that you say, okay, we're ready to do something, next year maybe, you will have it in the back of your mind as to this is something we can do, and you'll have identified the areas.
So we can offer a letter of support without making a commitment otherwise.
Yes, correct, yeah.
So we'll want to make that motion then.
I'll make that motion. To offer a letter of support.
I'll say. All in favor? Okay.
Great, thank you.
So we'll get that letter off and forward it.
Much appreciated.
And through you, Mayor, also just a motion to receive the designation.
Then move for all those. Also. All in favor? Thank you. This time, public input, I don't see anyone here, so we can skip over that one. For you. Point one, the minutes of the regular council meeting held on January 13th, 2026. Be adopted as presented. I'll move. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor? 7.2. The minutes of the Sterling Festival Cedar Board meetings held on September 3rd and October 6th, 2025. I'll move. Seconder. I'll second. You want to speak to those? No. I know, sorry.
I had to refresh my memory. Basically, they seem to be moving forward. The fundraising gentleman hasn't been up to several meetings, so it's kind of hard to figure out exactly how they're doing in regards to funds for the preparation for the centennial.
That's John.
That's John, and so I know that he's had some health issues or what, he hasn't been up for a while, so. But other than that, I'm not being involved in the artistic end of it, they seem to be making out okay, I guess is the term.
Hey, are you getting financial reports? Because we never see them.
Yeah. There hasn't been one for a while. I don't know why, like last time, it was because. I don't know what the reason was this time. Jenny is waiting on staff to submit them to the treasurer so she can do something, but nothing seems to be coming from it, so. Hopefully this meeting coming up will have something, because there wasn't anything the last time. So,
I know I have seen I don't know if it's complete, it's just yet or not, but they have sent out emails. For the 2026 calendar.
yeah,
It's not exciting.
you know, I don't know what to say. I think Shelley was gonna attend this meeting in February with us. And yes, it is, they do know about that day. And as of now, it's still on the go. Actually, the chairman of the board is a little more firm in regards to, it was at one time if somebody couldn't make it, then they would just cancel a meeting. And now she's saying no, as long as we have a quorum, and we're fully forward with the meeting, so. And they've had recent decent and they did that, so.
All in favor of receiving those minutes? Carried. The meeting minutes of the joint fire service board meeting held on October 9th, be received.
I'll move.
All second. They're pretty much self-explanatory, all in favor? Carried.
Can I ask a question? I saw someplace where we've hired more full-time staff, is that right, or did I get it?
No, Richard. This is last week.
Edie?
He was part-time. And we moved him up to a full-time position. No, he's doing a lot of training.
Training, okay.
And the good news on that is if it involves members from other departments, apart from Tweed and Sterling, there is income to offset that cost.
Oh, I just, I couldn't find out who it was, what it was about.
No, it's Richard.
I think,
I need a motion that the doing all the correspondence is one. Correspondence items 8.1 through 8.8 be received. Don's moved. Do we have a second for that?
I'll second.
Does anyone have any questions on any of those that they want to address? I know there have been some changes in the UTA. They signed the agreement with the.
Yeah, all the meetings were before that happened, so. Finally got signed with the OFC to finish off this winter, so. So we get back into negotiations or in spring. Doing them all next year.
And as you can see, the EOWC had their inaugural meeting for this year, and they've been quite active. They have 9 delegations at Roma. I participated in 2 of theirs, 4 others. Did you want to speak to the NCPA report? Unless there's any questions on any others, all in favor? Okay. Bylaw, the bylaw 05-26 to 2026. Being a bylaw to establish a special events policy for the township of Sterling Run. Be read and passed on this 3rd day of February 2026. Move from that, please.
I'll move.
Seconder,
I'll second.
any questions on that? Yes.
Does it, and I must say, I haven't memorized this document yet, but, is, the question came up the other day about, if, as sometimes happens, a couple of families decide to do a mega yard sale. And we've seen that kind of disrupt traffic. Does that fall under this policy or not?
Through the mayor to Councillor Smith, yes, even events on private property, as long as they satisfy the definition of a special event, so attract a certain amount
I'm
of
thinking like
participants.
yard sale or,
And then impede traffic of any sort or parking along the road.
yeah, I mean, not to pick on John Street, because I think that you true prefer, but they very often have like street wide. The whole street gets involved and the traffic is crazy down there, so is this something they should be made aware of? And I don't know how we do that.
Your worship, they should be made aware of this for any, if the event attracts more than 250 people. So if it is doing that and it's closing down traffic, if we are aware of it, then we will at least be able to monitor and make sure that there's this health, that we have some kind of safety mechanism for the traffic. The main concerns with this is to make sure that there is, everybody was notified, so we have to notify ambulance, OPP, other agencies if there are things. So if it's gonna be huge like that, then yes, we would recommend that they even speak to us and make application.
I mean, the fear is that people are going to stop doing events if it gets overly complicated, so. I think we just have to make sure that people know that we're not trying to complicate things, we're trying to make it safer. So,
You're on
Thank you.
points. All in favor? The next one, is for Grant. Bylaw 06/2026, being a bylaw to appoint Grant Hagerman to fill the vacant office of Ward 1 Councillor, the Township of Sterling Broaden for the remaining term council, be read and passed on this 3rd day of February. Mover for that, please.
I'll move.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor? Welcome aboard, Grant, it's official.
Thank you.
okay, I'm sorry, I had to ask point of order. Was Grant okay to second motions earlier, even though he hadn't been officially appointed yet?
Through the mayor to Councillor Smith, yes, he took his oath of office after the last meeting when we appointed him, so absolutely.
Just want to make sure you were legit, Grant.
Yeah, the bylaw is just force of law, but the oath of office is what makes it official.
Thank you. This is something new that the council hasn't had to deal with.
No.
Oh. Okay, 9.3, the bylaw 07/26, being the bylaw to authorize execution of an agreement with New Vote Systems Incorporated for the purpose of providing telephone and internet voting. The 2026 municipal elections be read and passed on the 3rd day of February. Mover for that, please.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Now, is this the same company we used previously? No?
Through the chair, I believe the previous company was IntelliVote.
Right.
However, this was a joint RFP with Center Hastings and the 13-member municipalities. And New Vote was the successful bidder.
The system basically is what before.
Correct.
Okay. All in favor? Somebody else want to read the next one? There's a loophole there. Yes. You read it, Becky?
Yeah. Through the chair, so I'm gonna skip the whereas clauses if that's okay, it's just as printed on the agenda. The resolution to come forward is therefore be it resolved that the corporation of the township of Sterling Rodden does not support the legislative changes to the OMERS Act contained in Bill 68 and requests that the government of Ontario reconsider the advisability of proceeding with these changes. Further be it resolved that the corporation of the Township of Sterling Rodden Council supports the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, in calling on the government of Ontario to maintain the current OMERS governance model with 2 corporate boards as the structure that would best deliver on the long-term interests of municipalities, taxpayers, and employees. Be it further resolved that this resolution be circulated to the Honorable Rob Flack, Minister of Housing and Municipal Affairs, the Honorable Peter Bethany, Minister of Finance, Member of Provincial Parliament MPP Rick Breezy, Hastings, Lennox and Addington, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO.
You mover, put that on the floor, please.
I'll move.
Second.
I'll second.
This is another one of those. Oh, on the bills, the Bill 68, this is the same bill that brought in changes to Conservation Authority, among other things. It's getting an awful lot of pushback because it could have affected us quite significantly, both as an employer and our members, our staff are members of voters. If it goes ahead, the province will basically take control of this fund. And they are then entitled to use it as an equity against loans and so on. So if something goes sideways, you're taking a risk with future pensions and investments. It's really quite a significant change. So I think, county has pushed back. An interview with the paper, I see that was in the bill until this morning. Yes. It's getting quite a lot of coverage and I think right, so. Any questions on that? Is it clear? All in favor of them? Under new business. We need to find someone to fill the position of the CPAC, it's a CPAC, they're still calling. No.
It's the Center Hastings OPP Detachment Board. The Police Services Board is what has been replaced by the OPP Detachment Board.
Hard to keep track of. Do we have any volunteers for that position?
Well, I said I would agree to take that position if I'm able to.
And is everyone okay with that?
With somebody else.
I don't see them pushing forward.
I was on that before, for, I think the whole term, I was on that, so.
Okay, now Becky, do you want these done as one or it's separate?
Yeah, we can do the OPP board separate from the Parks and Rec. Is that what you mean?
So I need a mover that Grant Hagerman be appointed to the Center Hastings OPP Detachment Board.
I'll move.
Seconder,
Second.
all in favor? Thank you.
And Benny.
Okay, Park and Recs, Council Draft was on that board, so we should replace things. I think you're already on.
Chair.
I would volunteer. Yeah, unless someone else would want to fill that position.
I'm already on.
Oh, well, there you go then.
I'll nominate some.
All right, so the motion that Caroline Smith be appointed to Parks and Rec Committee. Move that draft, we got a second for that now? I'll second. All in favor? And thank you. Number 23. So it needs to do with the annex. Appointment of Grant Hagerman to the Committee of Adjustments. Whereas the Council of the Township of Sterling Brown appoints 5 members, the Committee of Adjustment, and whereas pursuant to section 44(3) of the Planning Act, whereas in 1990, CP 13 as amended, members of the Committee of Adjustment who are members of the Municipal Council shall be appointed annually. And whereas the Council of the Township of Sterling Brown reappoint Mayor Mall, Deputy Mayor Soames, Councilor Smith, Councilor Stewart, Committee of Adjustment for the year 2026. At its meeting held on December 16th, motion Sterling Brown 25/12/16. Whereas the Council of the Township of Sterling Brown appointed Grant Hagerman to the office of Ward Councillor for the Corporation Township of Sterling Brown for the remainder of the 2022-26 term at its meeting held on January 13th. Now therefore to resolve, Councillor Hagerman be appointed. Mover for that then.
I'll move.
Seconder.
Second.
All in favor? Carried. Yeah, get somebody else to read the answer.
And some of these resolutions, we can move them as read, as printed.
As printed, okay,
That
we'll
helps.
do that. So I have a mover for as printed, then,
11.4?
Yeah.
I'll move.
second with that.
Second.
You want to speak for that, Peter?
Thank you, Bishop. This is a requirement under our application that we've made. It's they're following up now with a lot of the, crossing the Ts and dotting the Is, and this is one of these, the resolution is required. For the grant announcement that was made, that we'd be receiving the $10.8 million for the municipal housing infrastructure program, and this is for the rehabilitation of Belleville Road, East Front and North Front Street project.
Everybody's okay with that? I guess I. All in favor? Thank you. Yeah, we're giving them money. Who's it, Jim Harrison's here. Okay, 12.1, confirming bylaw. The bylaw 0826 being bylaw to confirm proceedings. Checking. Thursday. Of the council of the township of Sterling Run at its meeting February 3rd, 2026, be read and passed on this day. I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor? Carried. Motion to adjourn. Ooh. Don, okay, our second. Jeremy, all in favor? Okay, thank you. We have a special council meeting on fifth to deal with budget.